Hi guys, so we are doing activity page 3. Okay, so this is the guide on how you do activity page 3 for Algebra 1. So let me share to you this one right here. Okay, so this is still about adding and subtracting polynomials. Okay, so from grading some of the papers, I have noticed that others are really great when they're adding terms, but sometimes they get confused when subtracting terms. So let's try this one. So when you add or subtract, take note you can only combine those same terms. If you say same terms, they have the same exponents and they have the same variable in the term. So for example, this one, that's h6. That means you can combine that to this one. Take note, the sign in front of that should be taken or considered, okay? So this is negative h6 plus negative 9h6, or you can do negative h6 minus 9h6. That will still give you the same answer. Now, if you have just h6, that means you got this imaginary one before that. So what's negative 1 plus negative 9? For that case, I'll give you this one only as an example. So for that case, negative h6 plus negative 9h6 is just negative 10h6. Or negative 1 plus negative 9 is negative 10, and then you just copy h6. Now next, h5. So which one has h5? So you can combine that and then that one. So that's positive because you got the plus and before that. So that should be taken as a positive. So 4 plus 2, what's that? So that's 4h5. And then since you only have this one for h4, so you just copy minus 3h4 at the end, and that's it. So again, so I'll just have this one as an example. So that's plus 6h5, and then you just copy that minus 3h4, right? Because you don't have any other terms same as that. So negative 3h4. Well, I don't have a very good handwriting, but I think it gets worse when I write it over here. But anyway, so like for this one, which can we combine with this one? So we must find something that has QW4. So that means you're going to combine that. And I think just those two. So what's 6 plus negative 13 or 6 minus 13? That's the same. After that, let's find this one. So QW3. Do you have any other QW3? No, that's not the same as this WQ3. So they're not the same because in this one, the W has the exponent, which is 3. But for this one, it's the Q that has an exponent of 3. So you just copy that one. So plus 9QW3 and then plus 14WQ3. You just copy those if you cannot combine them, okay? Same goes with this one. Oh, same with this one. So it's only this negative 7W4, which has a W4. So you copy minus 7W4 after. So take note, the sign that goes in front of that will also go when you write that, especially if you're not combining that to others. Okay, now it says add. So don't forget to add for everything in 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So take note of that plus sign. Oops, I erased the plus sign. So that plus sign. Okay, now you don't have any other m squared, so you just copy that one, 6m squared. Now for the m, because you can combine them. So what's negative 2? Take note, plus 1. Because you don't have a variable or a coefficient that's visible, that means it has 1. So what's negative 2 plus 1? You write the answer, then you write m. Now for the whole numbers, what's 1 plus negative 2? You write the answer below. Now, if you think you're still confused on how to add and subtract mentally, you can always use a calculator, okay, to aid you. Now, this part, number 4, yx squared, yx squared, you can add them right away. Take note, that's still addition. So what's 8 plus 2? You write that down, then copy yx squared. Same for the x's. Negative 1 plus 11, what's that? You write the answer. Negative 1 plus 11 is not 12. Take note. You solve for it. And then you have the y. What's 6 plus 3? So that goes for the y right here. Don't forget to write the y. Now this, we have here k cubed. And this one below is zk cubed. You cannot combine them because they have, or they are different terms. So you just copy 7k cubed plus 5zk cubed, okay? You don't have to combine them. But for this one, that's zk squared and zk squared. You may combine them because they are the same term. So what's 4 plus negative 10? Take note, you have a negative in front of 10, so you should consider that as a negative 10. So what's 4 plus negative 10? Next, we have here zk. So for zk, you can just add 9 and negative 8. So what's 9 plus negative 8? Then you're right, zk. Okay? Now let's go to number 6. For number 6, same thing. You combine those terms which are alike. So for example, this one, cb squared, and that's cb squared. Take note, there's a plus in between those two expressions. So that means you'd have to remember to add them. So what's negative 1 plus 3? Then you write cb squared. For this b, let me find something that also has b on the other side. So this has b. So what's 2 plus negative 3? That's for the b. And for the c, that's negative 14. You have a negative in front of it, so take note. Negative 14 plus 3. What's that? And then you write C. Now this 4a4. You don't have any other 4a4. So you just copy that one. Then for the a squared, that's negative 9a squared plus, because that's plus in between, negative 11a squared. So what's negative 9 plus negative 11? And then a cube, what's 4 plus 1 for the a cube. So you write that down. If it's positive, you write plus. If it's negative, you write minus. And then there is no other term which has a5. So you just copy minus 4a5. So it's different when you have subtraction. So it says subtract right here. So don't forget to press subtract or the minus sign. So what's 13 minus negative 2? Or the s squared, because you can combine them. So take note, 13 minus negative 2. It's not 11. It is not 11. And then you write s squared. Okay, so what's 13 minus negative 2? You solve for it. Then for sx, what's 2 minus negative 3? Then for the x, what's 8 minus 1? And so for that, don't forget to write the variables. Number 9, for the R5s, again, this is a minus. So 8 minus 13 for the R5. Then 11, negative, don't forget the negative. Negative 11 minus 2. So you write the answer. Then don't forget, oh, wait. So we can combine those. But this one, look at. We cannot combine that one and this one. Why? Because you have u at the top and then there's no u at the bottom. So for this one, you just copy minus 11 UR4. And then this, if it has a minus, this one will become minus 2R4. It's the subtrahend, so you should change the sign of that one. Okay? Now, then this one, what's negative 7 minus negative 12 for the whole number? So same thing as this, negative for the x4, negative 1 minus negative 2. For ax squared, what's 5? Minus negative 5. Then for the x, negative 1 minus negative 1. Then you cannot combine A, you cannot combine B. So you just write plus A, then minus B. Only the subtrahend will change its sign if you cannot combine them, okay? But actually, subtracting that, you can just turn this into plus, then change the sign for everything if you think you're more confident in adding them. So you can also do that. Okay, now this one. So negative 3p, it's minus in between, take note. So that's a minus. Well, it's negative 3p minus negative 13p. So negative 3 minus negative 13, what's that? Okay, so let's continue. Now this one, you have here PM, and then that PM. There's a negative before that. So what's 1 minus negative 5? And then for the m squared, what's negative m squared minus 2m squared? So negative 1 minus 2. Then you write m squared. Now this, look at number 12. AG cubed, and this one can be combined. So AG cubed, that's 1 plus 2. Then you write the answer. You write AG cubed. It's still plus because it's not after that minus right here in between. And you had that plus before that 2AG cubed. Next, you have the G squared. So take note, there's a negative sign, so that should be negative 1 minus 1. So it's negative 1 minus 1. And then you have this. You cannot combine that with any other thing, so you can just copy minus 3a cubed g. Then this one, you don't have any other ag, so minus a negative, that becomes plus, so that's plus 4ag at the end. Now let's have this one. So Vince is going to frame the rectangular picture with dimensions shown. The frame will be x plus 1 inches wide. So find the perimeter of the frame. So if you're going to make the frame, oh, well, it's not perfect, but that's not bad. So that means you're going to have, so there will be, this will be 4x plus 8. It's the perimeter. That means you're going to add everything, right? So let's add first, or let's write first those measures that are given. So 4x plus 8. So that's 4x plus 8 for this part. And then 2x plus 3. So take note, it's a rectangle. So if you're going to find the perimeter, that side is just equal to that side. So you also add another 4x plus 8. Actually, you can multiply 2, but I think you'll be confused, or just so not to confuse you, okay? So let's just have adding for everything. Then you got 2x plus 3, and then the opposite side is also 2x plus 3. Take note, you will have that extended, and that one extended, and also this one extended, and that one extended, right? So if you're going to have this one as x plus 1, so that means aside from adding the regular, so if you extend them, that will be how many x plus 1s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means you also have to add 8x plus, now plus 1, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can just add 8 also. So if you add everything, you will get the perimeter of that one, that rectangular picture, when you're going to have that frame. Okay, so make sure you do that one. Okay, I was just looking at my notify. Yep. And then this one. So it says in here, find the difference. So what's this one? So difference of the profit at his first dealership and the profit at the second dealership. So this is the profit from the first dealership. So it says different. So you had to subtract them. Okay, and then you have here total amount. That means you're going to add them. So you add those two. Okay, and that's it. Thank you. I think they're being loud. So I think that's it.